Hello, Steve Mills here. This video is called Want the Cash, Do the Maths. And that's the subject of it. In my opinion, not understanding the maths behind your business is one of the biggest mistakes that I see businesses make. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the maths that affect your sales and marketing. Imagine I've got a funnel here. We all hear about sales funnels and all that sort of stuff. And we know that we've got to get, leads coming in that funnel at the top. And let's just say, for argument's sake, that you're doing, LinkedIn marketing, you're doing some email, you got a website, you win business from referral, you do a bit of networking perhaps, and perhaps you're spending money on Google pay-per-click or Facebook pay-per-click or something like that. So you've got 6 or 7 different ways of winning business and creating leads coming in there. So the first thing we need to know about this maths is, where are the leads coming from and how many are being created? How many people are coming into the top of the funnel? That's a real key number. So let's say right now you're getting, perhaps 200 people per month into some form of funnel. Perhaps they're visiting the website, perhaps they've signed up to your email, perhaps they're connected to you on LinkedIn and so on and so forth. So they're doing something to get and become more aware of you. And that's either good or it's not. So we're aware we're getting 200. So once we're aware of the numbers, we're aware of the maths, we need to understand or work out what we need to do to improve that. Because we don't want the same next month as we got this month, because we'll get the same result as we got this month. And I'm assuming, because you're listening to this, you want a better result, which is basically what I've been helping businesses do now for over 26 years, helping them get better results. So it starts by, getting that cup or that funnel bigger, getting more people in to have some sort of connection or communication with you. The next key is creating communication that goes both ways. Okay, so it's not just a matter of they've been to your website, but we've now got them to start the process of communicating with you. Not yet necessarily buying from you. Some of them will, and that's great. But what I'm talking about is getting them to communicate with you. Okay, now there are many ways of doing that. If you take, for example, social media or LinkedIn, you know how to do that, don't you? You don't really need me to tell you that you can, message people on LinkedIn. You can do posts. You can send individual messages like in-mails. It's like an email, but within LinkedIn. And you could also pick up the phone and call people. So there's 3 methods of communicating with people on LinkedIn. As far as people visiting your website concerned, perhaps your next strategy is to get them to sign up for something on your website, whether that's to book a meeting with you or whether it's to download a free report that you've written. Perhaps it's to sign up to a webinar that you're doing, or just to subscribe to your newsletter. But this is like the next level. Are you with me? So once somebody's come and had a look at your website or seen you somewhere, the second level is this more of an intimate level where they're communicating back with you. They're saying, yes, I'd like a copy of your report, Steve. Or yes, I'd like to come to your webinar. Or yes, I'd like to have a meeting with you, which is even more powerful. So there's two-way communication. Once you've got that, then you've got to start thinking, ideally about, again, improving that. You don't want to go from 200 at the top level to getting 500 at the top level, but that middle level, if you will, not improving. We should get that 2.5 times better. So if your numbers are at the moment 200 new people that I've able to communicate with every month, if we increase that to 300 people, then potentially the number of people who we got some sort of communication with going 2 ways goes up as well by 50%. So instead of like it being 200 people in the funnel and 100 people are communicating both ways, it's now 300 people in the funnel and 150 people communicating both ways. I hope that makes sense. I hope I've explained that well. So with these new 150 people we're communicating with both ways, we've got to become better. Well, firstly, we've got to know how many of those are we converting into, and it depends what your system is. Are they straight into a sale or are they into a meeting? I'm going to go with the idea that they're into a meeting. So if I've got, let's say, 30 people have signed up to my newsletter, then the next step is to convert those people into meetings. Now at the moment, again, the maths is that I get 30 people, and for every 30 people I get 10 meetings. Okay, so my question is, how do I get more? What could I do? What's my system for following up with people who've downloaded my report? Do I phone them up? Do I email them? Do I connect to them on LinkedIn? What if I do connect to them on LinkedIn? What do I do with them from there? And so on and so forth. So, excuse me. So that becomes a real key, a really important area. Okay, so how can I get more of the people who are already communicating with me into a meeting? If I'm going networking with somebody, perhaps I go to a chamber of commerce, I meet a load of people, I then try to get them into that middle phase. Great to meet you last night at the networking event. Thought you might like a copy of this video to watch, or report to download, or I thought you might like to attend my webinar, and so on. Once I've done that, then let's get them into a meeting. We then look at the numbers of meetings. If we're getting 150 people we're communicating with, then how many of those do we get into a meeting? Let's just say we get 30 of them. And then how many of those meetings convert into a sale? Is it half of them? So I've got a 50% conversion rate, which wouldn't be bad. Is it only 4 out of 10? Or is it 8 out of 10? Is it 2 out of 10? Which is pretty poor. But let's say it's 4 out of 10. So I've got a 40% conversion rate. If I could improve that by 20%, and instead of getting 40% converted, I get 60%, a 20% improvement, then over time, that's going to grow my business by 50%. Just that one KPI, just that one area of maths. Once I know I'm getting 4 out of 10 and I do something different, I improve my follow-up system, I improve my sales skills in order to get, instead of 4, I get 6, 50% growth in the business. Not overnight, but over time. Do you get the maths here? I really hope you do. Because in my opinion, it's probably the number one biggest mistake that I see businesses make, and I've seen it being made now for 27 years in thousands of businesses, in hundreds of industries, literally all over the world. Let me ask you a question. Do you think big businesses understand the maths? Do you think Apple know the conversion rates of every single store all over the world? Do you think they know how many of each and every product that they sell? Do you think they know which advertisement works the best? I guarantee they do. And that's often the difference between a successful business and one that's not successful. It's knowing the numbers, knowing the maths, and then working out how to improve those maths. If you do it, you'll get more cash. If you don't, you won't. Thank you ever so much for listening. By the way, if you want to know more from me, I'm very happy to help you. I've spent my life, as I've said, working with businesses, helping them to make significant improvements. My goal for startups is to get them to 100,000, 6 figures in 12 months. My goal for medium-sized, smallish businesses turning over perhaps 200 or 300 or 400. Let's get them to the next million. My goal for the £1 million business is to be working on that, whatever it is. If they're turning over 2 million, let's get them to 3, and so on and so forth. So if you want to talk, no obligation, book yourself an online meeting on my website. We can have a conversation. Website is steve-mills, that's mills.com. So just go there. You'll see it's like a gold button. Just click that. That'll give you access to my diary. You can book a time that's convenient to you. Thanks very much for listening.